guys, here we go again. This is Emmett Stallworth, the Alpha Builder. I would like to say Happy Father's Day, Happy belated Father's Day. And actually, this year I upgraded from a pair of socks to a two shirts and a pair of shorts, which is really good. And I'm actually wearing one of the shirts now. But let's get into it, guys. There's an old saying in the builder's world, in residential home building. And the saying is, you never really finish a home. You just kind of pretty much get to a good stopping point. Huh? Let's get into it. All right, guys, this is probably my last time. Here we go. All right, so now I guess I got a commentation going on in this screen as well. But I just want you guys to kind of see this is kind of where we're at. I think I do have some pictures on the front end, which I'll probably put at the end, of how this thing looked when we got started. But we're just putting the final touches on it. Painters are out there, they're doing their thing. Now the homeowner has elected to do their own cleanup, which is okay. Typically what I do, if you elect to do something like that, I take the money that I had in the budget for cleanup, I just give it to the homeowner. I think that's the fairest thing to do. If they're gonna clean up, I'm not responsible for the cleanup. I give that money to the homeowner and let them do it. I've had customers to want to go in here and they wanted to do like paint, which I probably don't suggest because what happens is 90% of the 90% of the punch items are going to be paint items. And so, there's a lot of things that need to be taken care of when you get down to paint. But let's kind of walk through this thing, I'm going to probably be doing a different commentation than what I got on here. So I'm actually doing a commentation on here as well. I'm going to stop it from time to time. I'm going in this house, putting the last touches on. The homeowner decided to do the cleanup themselves, so that's even better. This is how we notice that what we did here, guys, we made sure we protect that floor. Now that floor that we're protecting is the sand and finish floor. You don't want to get that stuff messed up. Really, if you guys are doing new construction and you do sand and finish floor, now the rest of the house, you have the LVP. It's kind of hard. That stuff is engineered. It deals with water really, really well. I suggest that all homeowners go with some sort of engineered flooring for a new construction home. Because, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. You can have a plumbing leak that can just really mess up your floors. You can have subcontractors that can drop things. It's just, new construction is a whole lot easier when you use some type of engineered floor. And not only that, even when you damage it, it's easier to fix. You don't have to take out everything and sand it down again and start over again. And that sand and finish is labor intense. But I actually think that the engineered stuff is a much better product. And it looks just like regular hardwood floor. So you got to protect that floor, guys. If you do sand and finish, really all of it. That's how this thing turned out, guys. Kind of see. Oh, there's one more thing that we didn't produce. There's one more thing I forgot to mention. We got to get a gas release on this house, guys. One thing that you want to do. That's why we had an issue with the plumber on this particular house. That's a whole nother story. That's the one when I did my video on bad subcontractors. I was really talking about that plumber. But guys, in this case right here, your plumber is typically going to be your gas, your master gas fitter. Typically they get everything set up, get everything connected, and then what they do is they come in and they put a pressurized little air pressure thing outside so that the inspector can see that it's holding pressure and you don't have any leaks. And then that way the municipal inspector can do what they call a gas release. to the local gas company, and then they'll come out and set the meter. Okay. So we got to get that done, and that's going to get done sometime this week. Stove and things like that. If you, I don't know if I can go back. This is kind of, oh, there we go. I can actually probably go back just a tad bit. There we go. Refrigerator, stove, and things like that. You can see that little blue piece of tape up there to your top left. Not too far from me. We started punching it out, so there's a couple of items that we're gonna punch out. But typically, guys, when you punch out a house, you put blue tape on places that needs to be corrected. And I usually make a big list of the items that needs to be corrected and put on the countertops in the kitchen. And I put the subcontractor's name by each one of those items, who's responsible for what. Hopefully I'm not, me as a contractor, superintendent is not on that list, okay? But all your subcontractors, your plumbers, your electrician, things that needs to be your cabinet guys, and then you make one big phone call and have them come over and adjust or handle the item that they're responsible for. That's typically how the punch out works, okay? See, and it's just try to keep it up, man, because I don't want to expose some of her stuff that's in here. But guys, this is floor. And to be honest with you guys, the homeowner actually wanted to save the hardwood floors. It originally had sand and finish hardwood floors. This house was built a while back, but she wanted to save the hardwood floors. And my suggestion was to just tear them all out. It actually would have been cheaper for her to just tear all the floors out and just start over and just do all LVP. And then you wouldn't have that transition because, going from the finish of the hardwood, the sand and finish hardwood floor is going to be higher than going to the LVP because the LVP is going to be a whole lot thinner. And you wouldn't have that transition. It'd be all uniform, etc. And it would have been cheaper. So sometimes people think they're saving money by keeping stuff there, but they're really not. Sometimes it's better to just go back with all new. Okay. It's half LVP, and this half right here is stain and finish, which that's something else. I don't understand, but if they love it, you see those are the LVP floors. It's just got to be clean. She's bringing she's bringing her furniture and all those items she's starting to put all that stuff back into the house, which I don't have a problem with that. Now, if I was, doing the cleanup myself, I probably would want that stuff not there. But here's another thing, guys. Now, if you're doing a spec house, and if you're doing a spec house, somebody does a contract on that house prior to you finishing it, I wouldn't let them move anything in, especially if you as the builder own the house until you guys do the construction perm loan. Don't let them move that stuff in. But now, if it's a home, if it's a custom home, if it's a home, you're doing a major renovation like this one right here, you have no control over that. They do what they want to do. Stuff can get in the way of the subcontractors, or in some cases, now you got to supervise the stuff a little bit more because people will steal some of your stuff. You just don't know what happened. It creates a problem, but you have no control over that as a builder, guys. They like it, I love it. This is another room in here. Closet, shelves, looks like that. Laundry room stuff in here. Let's see. Oh wow, right here turned out to be okay. I can't say she cleaned that pretty good. You guys should have saw that prior to her cleaning it. She did a good job at cleaning that. Looks really nice. Those fixtures, now she went and bought her own fixtures, and that's another thing, guys. I gave a budget for the fixtures. You can, anything above and beyond the budget is on the homeowner. Since she went and bought the fixtures, what I did was I took the money that I had in the budget for the fixtures and just credit her back that money. Well, I'll tell you. They're probably really excited, man. This has been these guys mess around and hired a contractor to come in here. He messed them up pretty bad. This right here, kind of like actually, hey, I had a little issues with the electricians on the front end. We didn't see eye to eye on some things, but and we end up actually finishing this job. And I don't really have any quarrels with the electrician now. Well, there was one guy that was on site, and then there was the main guy, the master electrician. Turned out to be a pretty decent guy. Came on in, knocked this stuff out the way, and moved right along. Sometimes that happens, guys. But these guys got everything like this right here, very organized, things like that. We went through and already checked everything out to make sure everything's working properly. Let's see here. Well, so they fixed to move in this bad boy. By the way, man, that thing right there, that vanity, man, that thing probably weigh about 500 pounds, man. I messed my back up fumbling around with that thing there, man. I couldn't walk for about, I think I had a ruptured disc. That's what trying to pick that thing up, guys. I got to realize that, in my mid 50s, man, I can't do this stuff like I used to. So guys, be careful when you're picking stuff up. And I actually picked it up with my legs. Now I'm feeling much better. I always thought I was gonna walk. I literally thought I was gonna walk again. So be careful trying to pick these things up, stuff like that, guys. These things are really heavy. There we go. Things turn out okay. Not bad. Probably need a piece of feet of caulk behind here. Wow, they got batons and stuff like that. Them things right there are expensive. If you see right here, guys, if you look up at the top, that light, she did mention to my superintendent that those things are not fitting in there right. You got a little gap and stuff like that. She hired the electrician. That's his job. You got to move them rings around. Those lights, you can actually shift them a little bit. That's going to be on him. So that's one thing with that list. You get that list, you put a piece of blue tape on that little item, and you walk through that whole house, and you find the problems. And then you put his name. I would have put the electrician name right next to that. And hey, man, you need to shift these lights over to get them to where you don't have that little spot up there. I don't even put them in my expensive houses. That's it. I think we got to put one more shelf. I think there's one more rack to put on there. So up here. So like, she moving in and she cleaning up, and like I said, guys, this worked out pretty good. Should have been out. I'm sorry, man. Should have been out of here 2 months ago. A lot of little change orders and stuff, but it is what it is. Don't have a problem with it. Let's see everything kind of turn out. Yeah, this was, I'm starting to think about getting these little, to your right, you see these little pods that you can get. I'm thinking about just trying to put that in my quotes moving forward, guys, because you can actually take those things and you can put your windows and things that come in on, you can go ahead and order things and things like that. You can put that stuff in there for your subcontractors and lock them up. So when they come, they get it, you're looking at what, $200-300 a month. Actually, maybe a little less than that, maybe $199 a month. I think it's worth it. Just if you put it in your budget, and then you can just windows come in, put all that, have them guys deliver that stuff and put it right there, and lock it up. And then so that way we got everything on site and it's just not kind of sitting out there in the open for everybody to, any and everybody to grab things. As things come in, go ahead and put it in the pod. I think that's going to be something that's going to help move time or help me to um, move a little faster on my jobs when I have these things available. This was a little thing that she added here, that little trim that goes around the windows. Never done that before. I didn't really want to do it because I had to put nails on one part of it to hold them in. But I picked maybe one or two on each side to where I had to put my nails in because really this siding should be able to shift and move. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully it works out okay when there's heat and expansion. This is something else that we added here, guys. We added this little trim around the windows. As I look down at the bottom right there, those vents need to be covered up. So we got to come up with some kind of, with the way those guys shifted those blocks. I wouldn't have turned the blocks like that. But we got to put some kind of screen or something there to stop critters from getting down in the basement, like snakes and stuff like that. So we got to come up with something to keep that from happening. So yeah, we added that trim around the windows. This is the deck that I built. That's the little deck we built. So it ended up turning out pretty nice. I get a chance to build some stuff. So paint the bottom. So we still got an access door to put on right here. It's kind of what the back look like, guys. I missed this right here, guys. This right here is another item that's got to get an access door to put on right here. Right here. It's kind of what the back. I don't think if you look up the top right there, you see where you have the HVAC guy is ventilating at the top right here. It could be a bath fan vent. I don't think they allow you to vent out the soffit anymore. You got to go out the top. This is where, guys, once again, guys, your guys got to be savvy, man, because if they're not on that code and they're not keeping up with that code, now they got to go back and undo that. So now we gotta get a piece of soffit, cut that, and stick that back up in there. He's got to go out the roof now. Creates a lot of work, really. Now he got to get up in the attic some kind of way. Well, he can remove some of these right here, soffit pieces, and get up in there and cut a hole in the attic and shoot out the top. But I just have to, look at that code. And I shouldn't have to figure this stuff out for these guys. These guys should be so savvy on their trade that I shouldn't have to be trying to navigate through the code book just to make sure they did their stuff right. And I'm going to check it. Now, in this case, I don't think I actually don't think the building official or the guy I don't think he knows. So I got to look at that and make a call on that. Look like, guys. So got a couple of punch items and stuff. This right here needs to get shipped back. I think we took everything, Make sure. There we go. Oh yeah, we can ship this bad boy back now. This thing costs about $300 a month. Which it's probably not a bad idea. Like we're giving these guys free advertisement. To start parking one of these bad boys on the site. When you order all your windows, go ahead and order everything up front. Screw that stuff in there. Put a lockbox on it for your subs. I'm starting to think that that's a good idea. You got that train that goes up there. It creates a lot of noise. We hopefully we got those windows pretty good set in there and sealed, and the insulation is gonna be a barrier for that for those trains. In most cases, when I was a kid, we stayed right next to a train track just like this right here. That train used to put me to sleep. Train. As it really came together, man. I don't, other than the time, man, I don't have any other thing um, that I have too much of an issue with, other than the time it took to do it. Um, well, let me wait until I get my final invoice, the final invoice. Let me wait until I get that final invoice paid before I start talking about that I didn't have any issues. All right, guys. All right, guys. This is probably my last time going in this house. All right, guys. Like I said, we're probably at a good stopping point. There's a couple little small items that needs to be addressed. Um, Once again, guys, you guys like, share, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything that you guys like to commentate on, like me to commentate on. I think I got a few jobs that's coming out the ground right now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to take each one of those, and one by one we'll walk through those as well. All right. Once again, like, share, subscribe, and you guys have a good one. Thanks.